IVM.
My favorite link is storytel.com/IVM, which is a lovely place to go. Best books available. I'm not saying that because they're forcing me, but stop choking me. All right, I'll do it anyway. Dale Carnegie, personal hero of mine. Loved all his books, read most of them. How to Win Friends and Influence People is fabulous. That's why I'm talking to you in this way. I am hypnotizing and controlling you without your consent, but in a sense with it. And this is only done if you understand the power of reading and Dale Carnegie's thoughts and philosophy. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Don't confuse that with Arnab Goswami's How to Talk on Television and Influence People. Little different. So keep in mind that if you go through storytel.com/IVM, you get a 30-day free trial as against a 14-day free trial on the link. All right, it's very simple. All you got to do is log on to storytel.com/IVM. Millions and millions and millions of stories, many written by me. All that and more. Find it all on Storytel. Kripaya dhyan dijiye. The language used on the podcast may not be fit for consumption. We warn you, tread carefully. But listen, yaar, don't be so conservative.
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
Unbathed, unshaven, unbrushed, no deodorant. But a great mind, a super journalist, Mayank Shekhar is here. We smell him, now we talk to him.
Why follow your auntie's advice when you can follow Cyrus Says on Facebook and Twitter to stay updated about the latest shows?
People must remember this phrase, there's someone for everyone. I've researched it for the last 47 years. It's absolutely bullshit. There isn't someone for everyone. I just met a friend of mine from school who I haven't seen for 30 years. I won't take his name because he's unmarried. Zubin's unmarried. He doesn't have anyone. He never had a girlfriend. He didn't date anyone. And socially, he was always awkward to us, and it didn't change over the years. He also has orange hair, which will work in this present government, but not then. Anyway, the young man, who's now no longer young, he didn't get anyone. So my point is, there isn't someone for everyone. Just stop giving false hope. There are lots of people, lots of us out there who won't get anyone. There's something for everyone. You can go and buy yourself something like a chair or a cushion or a cup of tea or a parrot or, well, if the law allows it, companion. But having said that, remember, there isn't someone for everyone. So don't hark on that, right? And Zubin, I've had enough of my marriage, so in case you're interested, it's called Cyrus Says. Right back after this break.
Hey, this is Shidaditya.
And I'm Amit Doshi.
And we host Shunya One.
It's a really fun podcast where we talk to some of the best entrepreneurs in the country.
Yes, talking about everything from their startup challenges to what they're building and all the future of technologies right here.
So catch us on the IVM Podcast website, app, or wherever you listen to your podcast from.
All right, Mayank Shekhar has joined us on Cyrus Says. We've been trying to get him for a long time, but he's a very busy journalist. He's the kind of guy who decides what happens in India. You're the real power behind the throne. But before we start, a couple of critiques that I have to make. I don't know if that's the right word. One is that you've called yourself a national cultural editor. What the fuck is that, Mayank?
No, nobody calls themselves that, yeah, Cyrus.
It says so here, man.
Well, it says from their Wikipedia page. That used to be my designation in a previous job, which was a Hindustan Times.
This is how the BJP explains problems also. Just blame Wikipedia.
No, firstly, can I butt in before you even get on about me?
Please.
One, I didn't know that you've done 350 episodes of Cyrus Says.
This is the same
which
guest.
Is fabulous.
But with the same guest.
With the same guest, which is you.
Okay.
And before coming here, first thing I thought was, I shouldn't think about anything because there's Cyrus who'll do all the talking anyway.
Oh, I thought you were making a political comment when you said,
I know.
I shouldn't think about anything.
Does this go like Man Ki Baat? Do you really talk to yourself?
We are faster. We are faster. His drawl is a bit longer. When he says, Mitro, you got 5 seconds, make your chai, come back, stir it, have 2 sips, get on with it. All right, let me quickly
Have you not been to jail yet?
Well, now it looks like we'll all go.
Well,
we're counting down here like a rocket. So, let's put in perspective. We're recording this a few days or few hours before the results will be declared. Of course, many channels have declared the results.
They've declared the results.
And, looks like they've swung one way. Is that the right phrase? Yeah. Well, I'll get into that. I just want to describe your greatness. You're with the Hindustan Times.
I'm right now with Midday.
You're back with Midday now. What were you with Midday before?
I started out with Midday.
It's like go back to your first wife from your second wife. That's rare. I think Richard Burton.
I think Richard Burton did that. You're right. Yeah.
Are we calling Midday Elizabeth Taylor? seeing that Friday mate, those men that used to be there early.
Doesn't exist, by the way, anymore.
No!
Yeah, because it's so passé.
Gender bias,
Who like really goes to third page?
Who reads
in a
newspapers?
newspaper? Well, people do apparently.
Yes. Okay. So you're now back with Midday. You've been all over all the English newspapers of India, and you've also got your blog, Fad for Thought. I have glasses. Why am I struggling? A man who has glasses should wear it. Like a man with underwear should wear that. Of course, underwear and glasses worn at different parts of the body. Could be a problem if you don't have glasses on. Fad for Thought on the Hindustan Times.
That was my previous blog. I mean,
website.
the level of research is Wikipedia page. I'm sorry, man. What am I doing here?
And I've got a few more lines left.
I think you should have some journalists employed in your research.
No, what we
team.
do is we give the first 10 minutes to the person who comes on to correct
to talk about themselves.
To rectify all the mistakes and the screw-ups that we've done. That's half the show.
So it used to be a blog that I used to write before. Mm-hmm. Right now, I write this column called MS Word, which is in Midday. Then I wrote a book called Name, Place, Animal Thing, which may or may not show up.
I love that game. Is it anything to do with the game?
No. Well, yes. In the sense, the book is divided into 4 parts.
Arthur.
And the name and the...
You're not playing.
What is Arthur?
That's name.
What
now you got to go with place with R.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Come on. Arthur. I've given him 3 chances here.
A se bola na, Arthur.
A se nahi hota bhai. N se hota.
Arthur kaise?
Arthur.
Oh, it ends with R, na? Ends with R.
has destroyed your
One
English.
second. Firstly,
it looks like you can't do
no, this is not Antakshari. You don't say, and then I start with the last one.
Okay.
It'll be the same letter, and then you do name, place, animal thing with it.
You wrote the book, so we'll go with your rules. We'll play it later. So you got this going as well. What is name, place, animal thing about, bud?
Pop culture. Completely.
Pop
India
culture.
and pop culture, yeah.
So, but there's a second string to your bow which people don't always know, which is you're a very politically conscious man and very strong views. Strong views on art and culture, obviously, but also on everything else. We'll talk about that in a second. And in Dainik Bhaskar, what's happening there?
So that's when I used to do reviews where they would translate in various languages.
Okay.
So Dainik Bhaskar will take it in Gujarati, Marathi, Hindi, etc., etc. But I know, why are we dealing with the past?
But if you use words like electrifyingly...
These are my ex-wives, why?
But Mayank, if you use words like electrifyingly infinite, how would you do that in Gujarati?
Oh no, somebody translates. I don't.
How would they translate?
I don't know. So
I won't get the essence of the real.
So
Mayank.
I'll give you an example, right? So one of the reviews which I wrote, which was being translated in Dainik Bhaskar, where I wrote round the clock. And they said, "Ghadi ke charo taraf."
Wow.
That's when I said, "Bro, I can't do
I'll
this."
read this only for the translation then. This is beautiful. You are editorial head of Midday right now.
Entertainment, yes.
Who owns Midday? The Ansaris have gone.
The Ansaris have left, yes.
Okay.
The Jagran group owns it.
Oh, the Jagran, the biggest
From
group.
Kanpur, yes.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So you're a big shot now. You're running the country with your pen.
Yeah. I'm on Cyrus show also.
Yes, well, there you've fallen in the eyes of everybody in one sentence. Shekhar now they've gone to your second name, Shekhar. Are you related to Chandrasekhar, the ex-Prime Minister?
You got really, this Wikipedia needs to stop. Either we have a conversation
but
or we just read that fucking
Mayank, we need to
page.
introduce you and then we can really free flow.
Sure.
So you are you Chandrasekhar's grandnephew?
No.
Shekhar Suman?
No, why? Do you know the population of India is 1.3 billion? If you take one name, do that be related to anyone?
Do you have a younger brother called Mover?
No.
Mayank Mover Shekhar. No, too much? Right.
Too much.
Okay, you're a rich kid, Delhi Public School, RK Puram, Delhi. Where, acha. So elite bag. Oh, St. Stephen's uske baad. He's not struggled here. From Delhi.
Struggle. So everyone has to struggle before they get on to Cyrus says.
I'm sorry, it's a very elitist attitude. Huh? You're from Delhi Public School with your long hair and easygoing nature and your t-shirts and all. You think that, okay. But the truth of the matter is you're infinitely richer than I thought.
So, I'll give you a story. You're the first celebrity I ever met in Bombay.
What?
And you have no clue about this, obviously. I just left college. I'd moved to Bombay. We were at a party somewhere in Lower Parel.
It's a terrible story.
And you look at me and you say, okay, kid, are you from college? And I just left college. So I said, yeah. So which college? I said, Stevens. So you're a Stephonian. I'm like, this is my day made, man. Because one, I come to Bombay and then I get trolled by Cyrus Broacha.
Wow.
I don't even think it was a great joke.
It's the worst story ever, but the way you said it.
But if you like a stand-up comedian, right? If you like a comedian, anything they say is funny.
That's the funny part. He's saying if you're like a comedian, we've not even made the comedian bracket. But you remember, this is a true story.
It's a true story.
But I wasn't badly behaved to you.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
No, you're fun.
I'm generally over-friendly. People ask me to leave after a couple of sentences. I remember one airport interaction. You finally told me to have to catch the plane.
Yeah.
We were just chatting and you just had enough.
Yeah, that's the morning after GST.
Yes!
Yeah.
Oh, man, I got to tell this story. So me, Mayank, and a couple of other guys also from the press, I was Akar Patel or one of these big names, and we're standing around and everybody was holding on to their coffee bills. Because everybody's like a frequent flyer. And coffee, which cost 21 rupees last week, was now 45 rupees. We're all going berserk there.
And all night they were celebrating this,
Yeah.
There was a celebration for this.
GST aa gaya. Yeah, which was the Congress's dream, by the way. Another piece of hypocrisy that we will discuss. All right, so now we've spoken about you. You've also won the Ramnath Goenka Award for Excellence in Journalism. Many awards, big name in the national cultural space. And you run a cinema website called the W14.com.
Used to.
That's also stopped.
Yeah.
Okay. Name, place, animal thing we spoke about. So now let's get into it. Mayank Shekhar, you are here. Do not fear. Let's begin firstly with the situation in the country, which is lovely. Jadhav is fit. He will play at number 6. And so India may still win the World Cup. But at the time of recording this, we are waiting for the results, which we have been told have already been declared by many people. And it looks like a big sweep by the ruling party. Mayank Shekhar to comment.
We just call them ruling party now.
I don't remember the name.
And the dear leader.
The dear leader.
The supreme leader.
Our leader.
Yeah.
Fatherland, thy fatherland. Oh, that's Germany. Sorry. Go on. Yeah.
No, I mean, well, because we've just seen the exit polls. And again, it was a tough one to call, right? The only things I can think about is whether voting is the opposite of dating. Because if you're too desperate with the person you want to be with, they will usually the rule is that they will not entertain you, right? But this was a party that was campaigning for 5 years. They seemed very desperate to come to power, and it seemed like the people wanted them, or at least the exit polls suggest so. But
the television exit polls.
The television exit polls, the ones commissioned by the television channels, suggest so right now. We
Right.
don't know the numbers as we speak. We will know when people listen to this.
Mm-hmm.
The second is, again, dating rule. If she likes you, you will know. It's not so hard. But if she doesn't like you, you'll be confused, right? So I sensed that this election was going to be that confused one.
Because the only confused one. Everywhere we look, the media is saying 306, 410, 10,500 seats.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that media actually now goes to the villages too, which wasn't the case before. There's
sample
one
study,
election
so to
that I
speak.
followed.
Just set it up for us. The sample study that they use, is it really across? How do you do that?
199 constituencies is the maximum that they've done.
Okay.
Right? The top one is 199 constituencies, which is not much. Where within a constituency, there'll be about 150 people.
Right.
There used to be exit polls, which were banned by the Election Commission.
Right.
So the one that we knew it to be, where you get out of a polling booth
And actually
poll again.
And
into a box.
hopefully do the same thing again, because there's no way to control
Correct,
that.
but because I don't know who you voted for, so again it's secret ballot. So then you're likely to say what you exactly did, as against if I ask you a question and you're in public,
Yeah.
I'll say what you want to hear, man. And you could be from the government,
Yeah.
or even if you're not from the government, then you could be a government-sponsored media.
Also,
so
again, it's like the dating thing. Nah? You don't want to tell everybody that you're seeing somebody else's wife. So you got to be really careful.
Yeah, especially when it's not right to do it.
In different
I
cultures.
presume not.
What's right is right now, apparently in India. But Mayank, what about the rest of the world? How do they do it? How do you do it on the Gallup poll or whatever? How do they do it?
No, so the time difference between, say, when the polling happens in the US and when the results are announced is too little. You don't need to do an exit poll. You do a Gallup poll, which is an opinion poll.
So it's a pre-poll.
Yeah, it's a pre-poll. It's much before.
What did our pre-poll say?
Our pre-polls don't matter, right? Because a lot happens. Our elections go on for freaking 3 months, yeah.
Because the
so how does it
advertisers
matter what you thought 3 months ago?
And the advertisers and sponsors were very clear. Let's just go with one horse. We want to make sure our businesses are fine.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, no jokes apart. Tell me honestly. So because you're off camera, offline, you said this. You think that the result could actually go a little bit the other way?
I did not expect these results from all the traveling that I did. Okay, I'll tell you the ones that I pinpointed and traveled to. One is Kishanganj, okay? A town which, it's the boondocks in
Also
Bihar.
a building in South Mumbai, but it's not the
There's
same
a
thing.
building called Kishanganj?
Yes, apartment A and B. So be careful who you're asking for. Go on, sorry.
Well, I went asking for MJ Akbar in Kishanganj.
Not a good time.
I'm not kidding you, because the
won
only
his
time
court
he's been
case.
to Lok Sabha was he was elected from Kishanganj.
Right.
So I want to know if people have heard of this guy. Nobody had heard of him.
Not even after the scandal?
But they'd heard of me too, though. And I was interested in the female voters.
He won the case.
Well, he's not going to win the case. How could
He
you
won
win
the
that
case.
case?
I think the judges
still
thrown the
not.
case out of court. Yeah.
Well, a lot can happen depending on what the actual results are. So that's
Sorry, I interrupted your flow.
Yeah.
You went to Kishanganj.
So Kishanganj. Then I went to this town called Purnia. Went to.
So what was your?
went to
you get an essence
Begusarai.
from people. How do you? Begusarai.
Begusarai is where Kanhaiya Kumar.
Yeah. And do they have a left presence, a strong one? Is that?
One of the assembly
Or is he just
constituencies
like a
does.
star, but they may not vote for him because that's the other thing in India.
The young people will vote for him.
You think?
Yes, I know
Translation
for
to
sure.
votes?
Like completely. It's the older ones. And I think
Speaks
the big
very well.
problem,
I like
Cyrus, I think
listening
big
to him.
problem with this country right now is the old people who get on WhatsApp and they believe in the written word because they've been conditioned to believe so.
Right.
So everything they read, they feel is true. So they're
So
like...
now you're talking about the fake news and all, which helps certain parties.
Hugely.
And cause,
and the secsecond one is the one who's
dissent.
just got educated, so feels like suddenly he's being told the truth.
Yeah.
He's finally being educated.
Too much pontificating also, no?
Both, yeah.
How do we do with... We should ban WhatsApp like the Chinese did. I should ban it for 1 year. I'm scared of this vehicle.
Yeah, now it will become China very soon. Yeah.
Like
What are you saying?
rumors just go and... I remember once there was a rumor saying the C-Link, which is the lifeline for many of us, was completely like jammed. You can't go on it and all that. Then
there was no one.
There was no one.
There was no one.
It's an absolute lie, but you can just create mischief like that.
Yeah.
So that you have a nice ride on the C-Link.
Yeah,
It makes sense, by the way. I think it was you.
We used to do it when we were kids. Yeah.
So you're doing this round of North India.
Constituencies, yes.
And do you get a feeling from people that maybe they're tired of the BJP?
No.
That they
So that's
want the
important.
BJP?
No. So I never got a sense that they're tired of the current government, but I never got a sense that they really want this government back, which is the confused one, which is how dating works.
Is there a lack of interest? Or is it...
They're not sure.
Not sure. So
They're not sure. And I think there's been enough information in terms of a campaign over the years where they're sure that they don't want the other guy.
But the feeling we get now watching is that the BJP has just dominated the media.
Yeah.
And in the last 3 months, it's been like a one-horse race in terms of visual balance.
Yeah.
There's no visual balance where other people get enough out of it. Because wherever you go, you see this one face, I won't mention names, and he's omnipresent, which is typical of what the situation is.
Yeah.
So, in a sense, that will play into their hands. Because at the end of the day, you...
No, I think what needs
to... I got the Mandira Bedi factor. Mandira Bedi didn't work initially on television for cricket, and the men went after making fun of her and all that. So Sony just went and said, okay, let's protect her and make it into a sexist issue. And she became a big star without actually knowing Bradman from Grace, which is fair enough.
I think what really happened is back in the day, and I forget the year, when they decided to have an IT cell. Right? And they asked a very simple question. There's a really lovely piece. I think I read it in HuffPost, or was it in Scroll, where this person is talking about, he's the first IT cell head.
You mistake Scroll for HuffPost. Huh? That's good.
It's the same. Yeah. I mean, so long as it's a well-written piece.
So long as it's left
matter.
of center. Yeah, go on.
I think it was Rajnath Singh who asked this boy a very simple question, that once the voting happens, it's over. How do I engage with this person? So what they did was, which is why they set up this cell, where on a daily basis you're engaging with that party. Right?
So
you're engaging
Singh
with the issues.
Is chatting with people all day long?
No. So he set up this cell, which that guy did, who left this cell eventually. He set it up, and he had an issue with it because you can't constantly engage with hate. I mean, that's not going to work, right?
Yeah.
So
take a break on Thursday or something.
Like have at least a Sunday off.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but that's really what they did.
So that's advantage.
That's advantage BJP. That's advantage BJP, because on a daily basis, you're constantly talking about certain issues, and you've made these people not voters.
So you
They're
appear
all
to do
supporters
things,
now.
is what you're saying? You're appearing to do things.
You're always engaging. You're always engaging with a particular constituency on a daily basis, where now it doesn't matter. I will vote for you anyway. Now I will support you. Now I'm part of you. There are 40 lakh people apparently. 40 lakh karyakartas in UP here. Can you imagine 40 lakh people who are just your karyakartas? That's nuts, yeah.
That's almost like my relatives, yeah.
I mean, if you just get those votes, you'll win, yeah.
40 lakhs.
40 lakh.
New Zealand is less.
Polling agents, yeah.
There's 7 less people in New Zealand than these workers in UP who are doing whatever they can to make sure the government stands. Okay, let's leave it at that, because we need to talk about you. This show's about you, actually. And I forgot about it.
The show's about you, Cyrus.
No, it's never about me.
I saw you last hosting the Guide Awards. Really? And you and Kunal were there.
Yeah.
I don't think I heard Kunal at all. It was just you.
Kunal should not be allowed in public speaking. I've been saying this since he was a child.
But why do you bring him along, just to stand?
No, because food is his thing, apparently.
Okay.
Which I find terrible also, because we all love food. How dare people monopolize food because I'm fatter? What does that mean? It's like racism, it's foodism. Yeah. Guide Awards, great fun. But let's get back to you.
Yeah.
So let's go back now to Delhi Public School, R.K. Puram, many, many years ago, perhaps 1988, 90, when you were a 1-year-old, 5-year-old, a young boy in Delhi. Tell us a little bit about your childhood.
Pretty normal, yeah.
Yeah?
I wish I had a story to tell.
Did an uncle touch you?
Huh? Uncle touch me. Is that supposed to be normal in Indian society?
I was just trying to break away from the terrible
No, I mean,
jargon.
it was regular schooling. I grew up in Chanakyapuri, which is a pretty Tony neighborhood. My parents were in the government, so it's not like we had money, but we had a good address, which is what
But those were
government
the
jobs
days when money
do.
wasn't the criteria. Education was important.
Yeah.
So I think that we had the education snob, right?
Yeah.
You look down on people who aren't well read.
Yeah.
So and the North was filled with the intellectuals who...
And becomes a bit much too. I mean, you correct people on their grammar.
Lovely.
And you feel...
I
And I'm
miss
saying
that
you're a
generation.
grammar Nazi. I mean, you've
Yeah,
not
yeah,
read
but it's
history.
lovely, it's lovely.
You're really interested in language, but you call yourself a Nazi. Like, what the
Absolutely.
fuck?
No, you're right. There's a fascism to it. Because
Yeah, man.
a guy says Wednesday and you have to say Wednesday. I mean, 20 minutes go in that and it makes no difference to that person's life.
Yeah.
But you've
And you got it.
broken his
You know he's talking
confidence.
Wednesday. So
Yes,
what, man?
Yes.
So there was a whole lot of that.
I love
going
that.
on.
I hope that stays. I love those people. No, that's the kind of fascism I want in our country. Leave that alone. All right, so you grew up, parents were in the government. Would they lean towards any party? I mean, there was only one party, I suppose, up to the 80s.
Yeah.
Although the birth of the BJP had happened to the Janata
Yeah,
Party.
well, 80s is when BJP was
1980
born.
exactly.
Yeah, I'm sure my parents are on WhatsApp and, there are other people now.
They're on
they've got
Facebook.
New education from WhatsApp University. But it's crazy. Yeah, you go to family weddings and stuff. I just came back from one and I'm like, I don't recognize you. What are you even saying? Right? And where do you learn this from? There's a lot of that going on. I'm sure you face that, Cyrus.
Even the simple phrase of, say, a 40, 50 plus man saying, thing like you just mentioned at a wedding in a public forum, when they actually say things like, I'll WhatsApp you, yaar. It's just the way they say it is wrong. It just sounds wrong. Because my kid, my son or my daughter would never use that phrase. They're on all these devices, but they just would never say, I'll WhatsApp you. We say, I'll WhatsApp you, and therein lies the rub. We look like idiots after that. I'm sure you enjoyed all that because I think it just happened so fast, the tech boom, that our two generations got caught up in it, just trying to catch up and don't know what to do. Well, they were born into it, and so for them, they're swimming from birth, literally.
And what if you're not educated? And that's your first education.
Yeah.
The stuff you read on WhatsApp, that becomes the history. That's the
now you're
WhatsApp
scaring
University.
me because that is India now.
Yeah,
we just did a couple
really
of shows actually in Delhi with a news channel I can't mention, but ends with TV 18, Studio 18 TV, something like that. And the guys were discussing this whole WhatsApp, which we discussed also before. It's a lot of power there if you can get people to forward your message.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to do anything. You just press one button and within 15
and
minutes...
And when you say forwarded as received, I mean, like what?
What does that mean?
Yeah, what does it mean? Like obviously...
I'll be coming to the birthday party. Like I haven't tampered with it because we're all pure here.
Yeah. And if it's wrong, it's not mean. Like, then why are you forwarding it here?
No, but you can't say mob kills child and mention communities, this, that, and the other. Next thing, you just cause trouble. People are ridiculously stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate people. Okay, let's get back to you. So
I'm loving this, man.
So you're a young kid. Parents opinionated, I presume, and dinner table conversation all interesting. And so what does Mayank want to do
in life?
Yeah, as a young teenager.
Nothing. I mean, I knew things I didn't want to do. So I knew I wasn't going to do an MBA. So I studied economics, by the way.
And MBA was big for your generation. MBA was
huge.
If you didn't do an MBA, nobody could talk about you in a cocktail party. He's a failure. Huh.
Yeah. Huh. Or, even engineering before that, right?
That was the one before, right?
That was the one before.
We are engineering, we're MBA. What do we have now? So what do we have now? IT? No, what do we
I don't know. So I think now, and I see young parents, my friends, I have a feeling that the kid wants to be an engineer, no? They'll say, no, you become a poet.
Yes.
It's the opposite.
Engineer. See your kaka. Let's have a job, yaar. Stand-up comedy, beta. R.K. Puram ka number one comedian. You don't need to go further.
That's really what it is. I think this whole that Three Idiots movies destroyed a whole generation.
Monty Python had a skit like this back in the 70s.
Really?
The irony of this father who, wants to, he's a writer and he wants to further writing and, intellectual process and all that. The kid wants to go back and work in the mines. And, it's just the reverse. And it's ridiculous. But wow, look at them.
But it's true, right? It's true, right? I mean, what's wrong with engineering? It's a pretty good job, right? I mean, all our buildings are built by some engineers.
I'm a 90s college kid, so very strong about engineering and MBAs. Yeah. All my pals hated their engineering, would come running back to Mumbai just so that they can see girls. Because they're the whole concept of non-girls in engineering. In those days, 90% men, 10% girls, out of which 50% of the 10% were non-girls.
Right.
So you were left with 5%.
But now they can be on dating apps.
Now it's all changed.
And I think there'll be credit to it. I think engineering will become cool very soon.
No, there are more ladies in engineering for some reason. Maybe you and me have passed out, so that's fine for everyone. And Chetan Bhagat is gone as well.
Chetan Bhagat too,
yes. Which means it's free to use Google. Correct. Sir, so then when you got to Stephen, so what are you going to do there?
So I used to debate and stuff. I used to write, not write in terms of writing.
Were you thinking of politics?
No, actually civil services at some point.
So then you're going towards your parents?
Towards my parents. Yeah. I don't know whether to make them happy or...
Did they pressurize you?
No. They never
Quickly,
did.
Mom and dad were what?
In the government. In the railways. Yeah. And no, I mean, I just thought that it would be a good idea to, in your 20s, if you don't want to change the world, then something wrong with you, right?
And in Stephen's debating society, every day you change the world.
Every day you're changing the world.
We make a difference.
In 7 minutes flat.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So, but then I had this person come live in the room next to mine. So I live on campus. And I saw how...
Why do you live on campus?
Because my parents had moved to Bombay by then.
Okay.
When I was in college. And I saw how much he had to study. I'm like, dude, I can't be doing this here. Because if I don't make it to civil services, if I don't make it through that exam, there is no alternative because all those books are useless.
Yeah.
Because they really test you on everything in the world.
And we would have
books that mattered nothing to anyone.
You had to learn by memory, and those books were the whole book.
Yeah, it's called General Studies. The book is this fat, and you're learning everything about the world. They can ask you anything. I'm like, what kind of quiz is this? Yeah.
In Pakistan, General Studies is about all the old leaders, huh?
Really?
Yeah. General Yaqub, Musharraf, General. I set that up. Come on. Struggling man.
One good joke.
Met a fat comedian. Come on, be nice. Okay. So, again, not clear what you want to do in St. Stephen's College. Hanging around, didn't want to study too much.
Yeah, I didn't want to study too much.
Civil services was beckoning. Then?
Yeah, and then I decided that's not going to happen.
Were you good at writing?
Huh?
Were you known to be
I was really good at debating. So I used to represent India and at world championships and stuff.
Okay.
So we were like a very good team.
Right. Okay, come on, let's do a debate. Defend Pragya.
Who?
Pragya, the lady.
Pragya who?
I don't want to take a full name.
Why not?
I'm scared.
You're scared because the new government
she's going to be a
member
member of parliament possibly. Do you understand where we live? Excuse me, I'm not going back to Delhi.
So I guess if it's democracy, then you know you get the
court's
government.
Cleared her, so she's allowed to stand.
You get the government you deserve, yaar. Abhi kya karega? That's what's going to happen.
So Mayank is on my side in the debate. As you can see, we're both on the same side of the court. Makes tennis difficult.
There is no other side.
Federer,
there's only one side.
Djokovic, as from what we are told right now. We will talk a little bit more about politics towards the end, but we're taking a break now. Mayank has to tell us about his entire sort of
whatever you picked up from Wikipedia. Yes.
It's all nonsense. I want to know how you became a journalist, how you got into this whole cultural space and all that. So we'll take a break and then we'll come back. In the meantime, we'll give him time to think because he has no idea how it happened.
Hi, I'm Ronnie Screwvala, and you've been listening to my podcast and the multiple chapters of my book, Dream With Your Eyes Open. And I think to that, I've had good chats here. And I think chapter 13 in my book is all about Q&As, and I'm sure there are more Q&As. Happy to answer them, so send them in, and happy to have a dialogue with you on that.
So if you'd like to ask Ronnie a question, send it to us at dreaming@ivmpodcast.com. If selected, we'll read out your question on the last episode and have Ronnie answer it. You can also send a question to us on social media at IVM Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
All right, Mayank is still with us here, and he's now going to tell us about the trail he took from St. Stephen's to Parel, where he works.
That was the first job, yes.
Where are they now, midday?
Well, now it's in Bandra East.
Bandra East, which is a big shot thing for me. Bandra East is where
Bandra East is a big shot for you.
That's the Greenwich Village of India now. Bandra East is when you arrived. You're the poet of the next generation. You're the Dylan Thomas meets Bob Dylan meets everybody else. Mayank Shekhar, how did you land up as a journalist?
No, so when I finished college...
Did I sound like Karan Thapar?
Like what? How did you...
I'm ready. I think I'm ready to step it up now. Yeah.
Even Karan Thapar doesn't sound like himself anymore.
Yeah. So. Poor guy, yeah. Probably. I hope there are more interviews to follow. Yeah.
So I told you, right? I didn't know what to do with myself in terms of I knew things I didn't want to do. And so I picked up a media course at Jamia, which has a pretty,
Stevens to Jamia. Culture shock.
I think I got screwed in a month's time.
Mr. English speaking, perfect, Guns N' Roses listening, whatever, and then Jamia. How was that?
Well, I left. That's how it was. In a month's time, I left.
They broke the rhythm guitar in your head.
Again, I didn't know what to do, so I moved to Bombay and I joined Xavier's, where they were teaching journalism. I was learning
evening course.
That XIC, the evening course. And
so do you consider yourself a Xavierite or not? Because people
I don't have it on my CV. I mean,
no, but
not that I have a CV, but I'm just saying. No, how can you call yourself a Xavierite when you're going to this evening course? Yeah,
but you're still going to Xavier's.
Like middle-aged people going to.
See, I have a question. If you are doing 8 hours of duty there, like a watchman, are you a Xavierite? Because he spends 8 hours standing in the damn, foyer. So I don't know. I think you should be considered a Xavierite if you're attached to the institution.
Maybe. Like
Even the
there's
canteen.
this, General Zia came to Stevens.
What an example, yes.
Well, because we're talking about
He's a
generals.
He's a Stephanian.
He's a Stephanian, yes. So he came to give a talk back in the day, and he used to get his cigarettes from a cigarette wala in Hindu college, which
What are
is
you
the
saying?
college right opposite.
I know.
right?
I've shot both of them together. It's great fun. Your debates and all.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So he called for that guy, a really old man, and he said, he wanted to meet him. So because he was the head of
Same
state
guy was
then.
there.
He was there.
That guy is attached to the ISI.
I was still selling cigarettes there, and
Wow, what a
he's
story.
told me that story. When he was a really old man, but I'm sure he's not more, unless he's like really lived 200 years. And he said, "Ki main kyun aau yaar? Tu Hindu hai, main kyun jaunga?" So he was a Hinduite with the arrogance of a Hindu.
He was telling Zia al Haq to
Zia
come.
will have to come. Why should I
Because
go
he
to
owed him
Stevens?
money from
Why would I
41
go to
years
Stevens, You come here.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. Well,
nice.
so I guess you are.
Did you,
if you spend too much time outside any campus.
Did you guys gift Zia with a bunch of mangoes?
No, I wasn't around.
No.
Zia was like back in the 70s.
Okay,
So,
okay.
To get your history
To put
right.
perspective.
Yeah.
WhatsApp, yaar.
Yeah,
Just
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp me the truth, yaar. All right. So you did a media course and then you came to Mumbai.
No, so I was doing that course and I couldn't understand exactly what they were teaching. So then I started interning at Midday, which went on for some time. And I realized I loved
Who
this
was the
job.
editor?
Akar Patel.
Akar.
Yeah. And he was a dude. Like, he's
Yeah.
a dude editor
Yeah.
in the sense that he would pick a 20-year-old kid and give him a column to write, which is what he did with me.
So rare, good leadership skills. Indians are not known for that. Huh.
Yeah, I mean, a dude.
Yeah.
Which is what a tabloid editor should be. I mean,
Right.
he would give me stories to do which were crazy. And
Like?
Well, we went after Saviors, since we're talking about Saviors, because they'd banned the prom. So
correct.
we went berserk.
Those were
Like,
the
how
days
dare you ban the
when-
prom?
yeah.
Those were our big issues in the world back then.
Now they may ban the faith. You have to be a little more careful. Yeah. No, but though, you're right. What happy days.
Yeah,
They
man.
banned red. That was the kind of thing.
Like
yeah.
they banned sleeveless.
Sleeveless.
Which
so,
is-
so what did you say? How did they?
No, we
they-
just ran a campaign. Like, I saw the fact that they'd banned it. Nobody else was talking about it.
Yeah.
We ran a 30-day campaign, like non-stop, until you bring the prom back. I don't know whether they actually brought the prom back, though.
I don't
honestly.
know, but the prom is one of the most beautiful moments. I remember how Monisha said no to me.
Monisha who?
Who cares?
Who cares?
She won't remember either, but they said no. A lot of women said no. It filled you with that steel. You needed to be a comedian. When
But they
people
say
don't
no,
laugh.
they mean no, right?
Very
There's
clearly.
there's no
with
confusion
me,
there.
there was no.
Yeah,
not the way you
yeah.
mentioned it about that, middle grey area.
Yeah.
It was very clear. Also, when they're running away and saying it, you probably understand
Fair,
that this is the situation. So,
But you're a funny guy. I'm sure like you'd have enough prom dates.
I don't even have neighbors.
Neighbors.
So coming back, you enter Xavier's, you start doing that, then you move to Midday, and you're like a cub reporter, I presume.
I'm like reporting on everything. Like I could go to Bihar
That's
and,
good,
and
right?
cover something. Yeah, I mean I've done Parsi beat also.
What is
for
Parsi
some
beat?
time. They have all these house issues here. So all those
all
Parsi
the
panchayat
fighting,
issues,
the
and
panchayat fighting.
those are serious first world problems.
You don't wanna get into
like
that.
my house is leaking, so it should be written about in the newspaper. Like, are you kidding me? Like those are your
the
issues.
real Parsi issue will be that the entire society should pay for that plumbing.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what they want.
It'll always be with the letter of
firstly,
the law.
the whole apartment is free.
Yeah.
Then somebody should pay for the leak also.
Free for when you were a poor Parsi. Huh?
Right.
You're not a poor Parsi today.
Right,
The whole
right.
idea is to help disadvantaged Bawas. Now you have a Mercedes outside, so from what angle are you,
Yeah.
But anyway, that's I guess.
So yes, I did various beats. And then I just became a movie critic. Yeah, pretty much.
So the movie thing which really made you famous and all that, how did that happen? A, and B, were you always into movies, or this is by you were told go and do this, cover this beat, and before you know it, you're doing well?
No, I was always into movies. But again, in India, and I don't know whether it's true for other countries too, which is why I'm saying India, aren't we all into movies? I mean, who doesn't watch
It's
movies?
like the conversation we had about food.
Right.
Kunal is a foodie, but we're all foodies. How
Yeah,
dare he be the
exactly,
foodie?
exactly.
So in that sense, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But then there's the research and intellectual, sophisticated more. You're looking at it from different layers, and there's the person who just watches it like from a primal. I need to see a movie, I get some satisfaction, and I go away from that.
Well,
so we're
I think I
presuming
did.
that your process
I think I
was
did
more.
first day first show anyway.
Yeah.
Regardless, right? But I didn't think it was such a big deal. I thought everybody else did it too.
But you
So
came out of a Manmohan Desai film thinking Fellini would have, perhaps had Amitabh Bachchan's entry from
Cyrus,
the
we're not the same generation.
Okay, sorry.
I didn't grow up with Manmohan Desai. No.
Today Fellini is a rock band and Manmohan Desai is an address in South Bombay.
No, but I would watch every crap film. I think the true test is if you can survive crap
You
films.
still do that?
I still
now
do
with
that.
Netflix and Amazon, all do you actually, because you can just do a recce. You see, all the things have changed with
Yeah,
technology.
yeah.
So
Much
come on,
less
we all
now.
do recce's.
Much
We
less
check,
now,
check,
yeah.
check. We move.
Yeah, but if you have to do theatrical releases, then you you will watch everything that
As
comes
a
out.
critic, will you watch the film from start to finish, no matter how bad it is?
Always.
Before you won't.
But here's the thing, I don't get people walking out of a film. So if the movie's not working for me, right, I'll start looking at the background, like what is that person wearing? Something or the other will interest you, because now you don't give a shit about the story. Now you're going to shit about the acting, nothing. Then you look at other things, and there's always something to look at. Or you'll hear the background score, that's working for you or not working for you, but you start observing other things. So I don't get why people walk out of movies. I never have.
But do you write down stuff as you watch it?
No.
Or you wait for yourself to go back and then you sort of digest it and then you sit with your typewriter?
I mean, if there's a detail that I may forget, then I just put a word on my phone. But otherwise, I'm not like watching and writing. It's not an exam for me. I'm just absorbing it, and then it'll come out as a piece.
So let me ask you slightly irritating questions.
Yeah.
Has Indian film, and this is a very difficult question
yeah.
to answer, you might get irritated to answer it. Have Indian films gone in a somewhat right direction with this whole internet boom and the option of the smaller filmmaker replacing what we used to call parallel cinema? We have options.
I think
Is it,
if you look at media as a whole, and movies are just part of the media industry, I think movies have really outshone every other
In
facet
growth.
of media. Look at news. Our news has gone down.
News! Don't say news! Never say news! We were having such a nice,
lack
healthy
of one,
debate.
yeah.
What news? It's not news.
Exactly. So, and it's I think it's the only media in that whole industry where people pay from their pocket. Right? It's we get it for free, right?
Yeah.
We get TV for free.
Yeah.
Whatever rubbish comes on TV, watch it. We don't care
It's a
much.
straightforward transaction. I pay, you better entertain me.
Yeah, and it better be good. And I think it's been driven by people. People have made movies better. I mean, you can't compare what happened in the 80s to what's happening now, yeah. And it's world-class movies. Gully was a world-class film. It can play anywhere in the world.
You think?
I think
and the
so.
subject is Indian enough.
It's totally,
Sometimes we
it's
just seem to-
homegrown.
yeah.
It's true. I mean, that guy exists.
And also, a Dabang and a Newton can coexist, you believe?
Totally.
No, I mean,
Totally.
financially, that you can make films like Newton and have a good life.
Yeah. I have a feeling, I mean, although it's a state of
See,
flux.
Gully Boy also had a mass appeal, but some of them don't, I'm saying.
Yeah, I think they'll go to Netflix.
And then what happens?
Then
you and me watch it.
You and me will watch it, and I mean that's the one I'm going to miss. The fact of the theatrical experience, but I think the Dabangs will give you that, or Avenger will give you that. I mean, if you've not seen Avenger on the big screen, then you've not seen the film. Period.
Yeah.
It has to be in IMAX with people going berserk. I mean, that is what we'll miss about movies looking ahead. But I think these films will survive.
You think the next elections, the BJP will use Avenger characters as their... and presenting Iron Man.
But there'll be only one character in the whole movie. So.
And which one will we
So,
go?
I don't know.
The
You tell me.
omnipresent one. So who should we go for? We have to keep just one. Don't say Hulk. Just be careful. Just be very careful. Yeah.
I'm not saying Thanos either.
Don't say Thanos. Who should we go for? Come on, guys. Write in and tell us. Who should he play?
Captain America.
But that will confuse everybody. He's just like any other Gujarati. All he wanted to do was go to America. This is all a hoax, I tell you. He said, Mayank Shekhar, tell us about the bad films.
We're going to jail, buddy. I don't know.
Nah, it's okay. What else can we do now?
I hope nobody listens to this.
Well, it's a democracy.
So it's all cool.
If the people have spoken and they've cast their vote, you have to live with it.
It is
we
what
can't
it is.
be spoiled kids and say, no, I'm out. I won't play cricket.
Yeah.
I want to, but we can't.
Yeah, but we can't.
Yeah. Let's get back to the movies. Your happy place. So, is there a process? How do you do your writing? Give us a little bit insight into yourself.
I don't think it's any different from any other form of writing, in the sense that you go to a city and you write a travel piece. You go to a movie and you write a piece. You emotionally respond to it. I don't want to get technical, because then I'll be fucking,
No, but I can tell. I read a lot of your reviews. I can tell immediately when you're enjoying yourself.
Right.
And you can see that immediately.
As an experience,
As a writer
yeah.
also, you're
Yeah,
enjoying the
yeah,
whole experience
yeah.
that you've had. It's
Yeah,
obviously
yeah.
flowing from you, and you know,
Yeah.
it comes out as a tribute, especially when you enjoy the films.
Yeah.
Also the funny ones when you don't enjoy them, that also you seem to enjoy that as well.
Then you just write what you saw.
Yeah.
There's not much to do, because it's so idiotic that it's funny by itself. The content of it.
So then you'll make enemies?
All the time.
And do they come back to you? Because now they have the right to, or because of social media, everybody has the right to attack the critic.
Yeah.
Which is the new thing.
Yeah.
So the critic can't just write, Khalid Muhammad would write his piece and then that's it. And the film would die because he gave 1 star. But now you would go after him.
No, I think now everyone is a film critic. So in that sense, thankfully the pressure is off. Like you said, like Khalid would destroy a film and the movie will get destroyed. That's not going to happen
You couldn't
anymore.
attack him back, I'm saying.
Huh?
You couldn't get Khalid back till he made his first film. That was another story altogether.
Hey, it wasn't so bad.
Yeah, then he gave him, what is it? Tehzeeb?
Fizza was his first film.
Fizza. Okay. Back to you.
Yeah.
So do they come after you? Do they...
The movie industry guys, they don't like you. And that's fine. That's fair. Until they make their next film.
Is this fair to say for all the critics, or except for the ones who obviously only give you good?
No, I mean it's obvious, right? If I'm going to say Cyrus, you suck, then you're going to turn out and say, but Mayank, you're amazing, yeah. You know, it's a very it's an obvious transaction where you don't like their work, so they don't like yours either. I mean, that's how you would automatically respond to someone who's trashing your film, and a lot of hard work actually. To be fair,
Yeah. And some of them, the technicians already put their heart and soul into it, and
all of them do.
Yeah.
It's just the way it turned out to be.
It's a really bad story.
Yeah, it's just a terrible freaking script.
Yeah.
But
when do they invite you to things and all that? How does it work? Are you on a blacklist? Are you on a good list?
Well, so the blacklist would be when, they won't show up for your interview or something. Or you won't even call them because then they're upset with you. But by and large, I think if you compare this journalism to every other form of it, it's a lot better. I think these are better guys in general. They're not vindictive. They're not vicious. They won't go after you.
Don't break your legs.
Yeah, they won't
stop
break
your child entering school and things like
and
that.
it's not the case. Like I met a film critic from Nigeria who gets the death threats. Yeah,
really?
Because Nigerian movie industry
huge industry though.
Yeah, but it's a mafia-led industry. So it's not the case here. They're nice guys.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah. So I don't know what it was like to do it in the early 90s. Yeah. But I'm sure, I don't know how seriously you took movie critics back then either.
No, I think the print media was everything.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there was a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
I want to become a critic because I was told they pay you money. And I'm happy to
watch
write
a movie.
anything.
But you don't get, that's another fallacy. You don't get paid to watch a movie. You get paid to write a piece.
No, but
that's work.
It's like playing.
That's genuine work.
It's like playing. The only things I can think of which I would like to do, as a young kid. Of course, as you grow older, you understand it's not exactly that. One is be a movie critic or entertainment critic because you get to do everything. You see everything.
Right.
Like I said, you don't put your hand in your pocket and you just write about it because anyway we have opinions. You come out and you write about it. You don't have to write well. You just have to write. Right.
Sure,
the second thing is play cricket for India. I'm crazy about cricket. So growing up, I would love to play cricket.
But that's tougher. That's tougher.
It's tougher. But why would you want money? I'm thinking as a young boy, I want money.
Would you do it for free?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that the test? Isn't the test for jobs that you love?
I think for the first
would you
year,
do it for free?
Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, they all want to do it for free. But by year 2, it's like, main to star ban gaya abhi. I need a big house.
Right.
Things change. And the third is a porn actor. Because I really wanted to get into porn. And I thought in 94 when I was in New York, Mayank, I had a crack at it because I went for an audition. But I chickened out.
No shit, really?
I went with the two of my friends. I was in acting school. They said, let's go check this out and all. Because they pay on the spot.
Sure. It's
not
a big
too much.
industry.
The males are paid only 1/4 what the females were paid. And rightly so.
Yeah.
The males look like
it's a
me.
sexist industry, clearly.
It is.
Yeah.
So one for the ladies. Well done, ladies. Yeah. So these are the 3 things that I wanted to do and I didn't get any of them. But you did. At least 2 out of 3.
Oh, the third one you mean?
No, cricket I don't know.
How did you saw that video?
I saw the audition, mate, on Pornhub. Do you also...
But I mean, I can understand being paid to have sex with someone, but you want it in a video.
It's a narcissism involved.
Okay, fair.
There's a vanity on another level because you believe you're great and great looking and it's your gift to mankind, womankind, whatever you want to say. We have a few of that in India. Come on, look around.
Right.
So do you also do Netflix and Amazon Prime releases? Is that
so here's the thing. I think there's just too much content now.
Too much. But you'll help a lot because how do we see through that?
Right. So the other big thing is obviously the series, right? I mean, they last about 10 hours.
Yeah.
Usually, right?
Yeah.
And then you have to be very careful because I'm addicted to this personality. So if I start, I will take it to the last episode. But I will not...
But you'll have to if you're going to give us a whole series thing.
Yeah, but I'll do it in one go.
Ooh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it better be great. Because I'll go through the whole thing regardless.
Tough to watch, no? 10 hours.
Yeah.
You know what people say about Blitzkrieg and all that.
Yeah.
4 or 5 hours, maybe. 10 hours will be huge.
But you see how all the media myths have been broken then.
Meaning?
Because they told us that we have no attention span.
Yeah.
I mean, we have attention span enough to watch 10 hours straight.
We watch 7 hours of one-day cricket.
Yeah.
What attention span are you talking about?
Then
Opinion polls have been going on for 4 days.
Yeah, elections went on 3 months.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Second, that we don't do foreign language. Right? I mean, we don't even realize that Narcos was a Spanish show.
I love Narcos.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't realize. After episode 20 minutes into it, you don't care, really.
Yeah.
And I'm happy with subtitles. I don't need that fake soundtrack with the strange accents.
No.
Which some Indian guy in Leopold is made to do like a Spanish accent. I don't get that.
Yeah.
I'm happy with the subtitles. Korean films, Iranian films, all good.
And you forget that you're reading,
I think it's good because in a way we are reading.
Yeah.
When your mom says, "Are you still reading?" I am reading.
Yeah.
It's a Korean film.
Subtitles.
Come on.
I think it's the new novel. I think the web series is the new novel.
Don't knock it, bro. World changes. We have to stop looking back and saying you don't read anymore. I think you're right. It's a new novel.
And how does it matter how we
assimilate,
absorb something?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, we're running out of time and we have the AMAs to come. But very quickly, so what's next? Is there anything else that you're going to do now in terms of...
Hopefully write my next book. Yeah.
Which will be on films?
It will be on pop culture. I mean, there's a lot of pressure to write a book on films. I don't know
many
how
pops in the country.
Too many pops in the... Well, there's only one pop.
Oh!
Father of the nation. There's only one father of the nation.
Yeah, yes.
Mahatma Gandhi,
That's
obviously.
True. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I'm staying out of it. I want the podcast to run a little longer. Mayank Shekhar can be contacted at for all representatives of the government, please. From RK Puram to, where are you now? Bandra East.
Bandra West.
Bandra West is home, Bandra East is work. They can get you both ways.
Anything else like my,
Yeah. So, next book?
Yes, I think it'll be to do with films, but it won't be films in the sense of a movie book. But I think I really want to capture like the whole 90s to 2000s of Bollywood, that what changed it, and I don't know how to do it, but I'm like grappling with the idea.
Okay, so there's a theme involved as well.
There'll be a theme, yes.
Tough question again. Top 4 or 5 actors that you really like.
Yeah,
actresses.
I don't know, Cyrus. I
Is there
think
anything like
we overdo this business of liking actors.
Or is it like a temporary thing? That
It's
at
a very
moment,
temporary thing. It's
this
really
guy is great.
It's really the character, yeah. And I think of course, no knock on the talent, but I think there's too much of emphasis given on a star or an actor. I think in this medium that they don't
But
play
also in America,
such a strong...
it's not just an Indian thing.
But America has actually killed the whole star system.
You think?
There is zero.
But you want to say Will Smith in the film?
If you replace, I know,
Ryan Reynolds,
I know it's an
example.
unpopular thing to say, but if you replaced Robert Downey Jr. with someone else for Iron Man, Iron Man will still be big.
Iron Man maybe, but I'm a big Robert Downey Jr. fan.
No, I'm a huge fan too.
I'm
I'm a huge fan too. I'm saying they replace the star system with these superheroes and like this whole blast fest and stuff like that. Remember, like back in the day, we used to hear about Julia Roberts and how she's the highest paid and Jim Carrey's the highest paid. You don't hear that anymore. Nobody talks about.
Do you remember Robert Downey Jr. as the Australian reporter in Natural Born Killers?
Yes.
And how beautifully he was killed in the end. I mean, it's a lovely film.
Yeah, it is a
Come
great
on,
film.
man.
It is a great film.
What the hell?
Yeah.
So I'll throw 2-3 films out at you. Let me just see your reactions.
Yeah.
Okay, without thinking. Avengers.
Loved it. The third one, yes. But as an experience, I don't think it's a film. I think
It's
it's an
Hollywood
experience.
becoming Bollywood for me. It's just more color, more oomph, more
I think mainstream
stylized
is the
cinema.
same, yeah. Mainstream across the world is the same. Like I used to think that Iran makes these great films. And then I went to Iran and I went to the theater and they watched David Dhawan movies, yeah. Not David Dhawan's movies,
They're similar.
but David Dhawan type films.
There's a Majidi and then there's a Majid
Yeah,
Khan.
Majidi is not being watched in the theater.
He's famous outside Iran.
Yeah, he's famous.
Gone? We've never heard of him.
Exactly. He's like a Shyam Benegal of, much as we love him, but he didn't make
man.
blockbusters.
Well done.
Yeah.
Now as you go down with the government, you got to keep the leftists with you, huh? Whatever happens. Yeah. Okay, Avengers. Did you see De De Pyar De?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Couldn't stand it, yeah. Couldn't stand it.
But it's a nice story.
It's a great idea. Of a 50-year-old with a 25-year-old. Right? Like Cyrus with Monisha.
Yeah.
Right? Except that that's not what the movie is about. So the movie is about about the 50-year-old going back home to his wife. I don't want to know what happens between them and their 2 kids who are, 18 and 20.
So he's not dating the 25-year-old?
No, he is. But I wanted to know about that relationship, right?
Yeah.
But that's not what the movie's about. So I went in very excited. And then I'm like, dude, what did I see?
I love the trailer because,
it's a great trailer. It's a great trailer.
Daughter's younger than the whatever, fiancé or whatever.
Yeah, but I think spoilers. I think what I'm going to say, I'm going to refrain.
Okay.
From next line.
Right.
But basically, that's not what the movie's about.
All right.
So I thought it would be.
Okay. Best Hindi film you've seen recently?
This year, Gully Boy.
You really like Gully Boy?
I loved it.
But what about the music?
I loved it. Huh? Loved the music.
Oh, Jesus. Get out of the studio.
Well, what do you mean?
I can't bear
What do you mean? So you don't like the genre?
I don't like rap.
Exactly. So then don't
I don't like it in any language.
blame the music.
Okay, I couldn't bear it in Punjabi. I thought Punjabi was the worst, but then Hindi killed it for me. Taking it a step further. I can't bear it. I want it banned in all countries. Stop it now. If they make Gully Boy 2, I'm leaving. I'm staying with the present government.
Just don't listen to it. You don't listen to it.
Ban is part of our culture. Everyone should be allowed to ban, yeah? We should all be given one ban each that we are allowed to propagate. What's your ban? But what's the whole hairdo thing?
What about
this
hairdo?
Long hair, this Imran Khan, but not exactly.
I have a hairdo for radio.
Yeah. Right, funny boy. Yeah. Mayank, last question.
Yes.
Best filmmaker in India?
Again, well, it changes.
Best
but,
3-4?
So I'm just thinking of a filmmaker who's, I'm talking about India, of course. I think Shujit Sarkar, there's no film he's made which you cannot watch.
Include his ad films.
ad films, I wouldn't know because they don't give out like credits in the ads.
They should.
Yeah, they should. But I think every film of his has been special and very different from each other. I'm not a big auteur theory fan, so for me it's not like this just one voice and that person. So I like directors who have like that range. So like my favorite director abroad would be Sidney Lumet, because you can't tell a network from a Dog Day Afternoon. Yeah, you know, that's the range.
Dog Day Afternoon is him.
Is him, yes. Wow. Serpico is him.
Why do you crap film like Network?
Yeah. Huh?
Sorry, go on.
You didn't like Network?
Dog Day Afternoon, Network.
Yeah, but Network, yeah, come on. And in fact, more relevant now than even then about what television does to us and what's doing to us as we
What
speak.
news television does to us.
What news television does to us, yes.
doing to us right
Yes.
now. Mayank, sorry, we have to wrap it up. I've got abuse coming in from various sources, including our producer. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having
we
me,
paid the
Cyrus.
normal
Thank
sum,
you. Yeah.
which is your rickshaw conveyance. Not all the way back home, but
Just halfway
to the
through
corner.
to the bus
He
bus stop.
he parks there, so he doesn't charge us to ferry people. Yeah? All right, but we have the AMAs coming up next, and you're there.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another incredible week on the IVM Podcast Network. If you are not following us on social media, please make sure you do. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. A couple of messages up top. First, we're hiring right now. We're looking to hire a producer, we're looking to hire copywriters, we're looking to hire an audio engineer, we're looking for web developers, we're looking for business people. If you're looking to work at IVM, which in my opinion is probably one of the best places to work at, then please do send us an application. Also, please do download our app if you're not listening to it on our app. Our app is available on the Play Store. And I also want to thank our sponsors this month, Savari, Storytel, and Paytm Money. Thank you very much for supporting us. On Paisa Vaisa, Anupam continues his conversation with Kunal Shah, founder and CEO of Cred, a members-only app which gives you exclusive rewards for paying your credit card bill. On the Filter Coffee podcast, Ronnie Screwwala joins Karthik Nagarajan to talk about his early days as an entrepreneur and what has kept him going during adversities. And if that's not enough Ronnie Screwwala for you, listen to his podcast, the Ronnie Screwwala Podcast, where Ronnie talks to me about the benefits and disadvantages of being an outsider, building a brand identity, and the learnings from collaborating with business giants across the world. In the Season 2 finale of Echoes of India, Anirudh discusses the end of India's Hunnic Wars and the emergence of some of the most dynamic and powerful people and states in Indian history. It's been a great season. If you haven't caught it yet, check out the entire season. On our Parsi food show, Not Just Dansak, we have a very special guest, Kanaz Messman, the owner of Theo Broma. She talks to Perzan about keeping the cooking process basic and simple. On the ATKT Talent Tent, P-Man and Krupa are joined by slam poet Malvika. She talks about how poetry helps her cope with anxiety. On Equity Sahi Hai, brought to you by Motilal Oswal Asset Management, Shrey Lunkar is in conversation with Anupam about life insurance in India. On Golgappa, Trupti is in conversation with Mayur More of TVF Kota Factory fame. He talks about his early days as a theatre artist and shares stories from the sets of Kota Factory. And with that, let's get you on with your show.
If you have any questions for Cyrus, write to us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Or you can send an email to whatcyrussays@gmail.com.
All right, AMA time. Mayank, we're joined by the other omnipotent force, Amit. The fourth time I'm using the word in the last 10 minutes.
Yes.
Not Amit. Amit I'll have to use a lot more now.
A lot more, yes.
Omnipotent. Or is it the same? I don't know.
Amit is omnipotent.
There you go.
Yes, yes.
Whether in this room or in this country.
As we find out within minutes.
All right.
Or not. Already found out. Not sure. This time travel that we do on the podcast, I tell you, there's something. Mayank is ready.
Okay, so this question is from Shiksha from Toronto. Hi guys, I have a question for all of you. Cyrus mostly talks about his one friend Kunal on the podcast. Do you think it's harder to make friends as you grow older? Any tips for
It's
making new
harder to
friends?
get rid of friends as you get older. And I have, unfortunately, social media in the last 10 years has encouraged people to increase the sheep.
Right.
And frankly speaking, I think it's disaster. Never do that. It's terrible. Shamak Davar, one of the great philosophers of our time, I'll never forget, after rehearsal at JB Pettit in South Mumbai, we were standing out in the boys who smoke and all, we were all just standing out there. Shamak and I don't smoke. We have no vices between us. And somebody came in a car, maybe a Maruti or something, it was many years ago, stopped and said, Shamak, hi, what's up? You know, when you stop your car to get out and say whatever, it's got to be some relationship there, right? And Shamak looks at him and says, I'm sorry. So he says, we were in school together. I'm so-and-so, Kaizad. So Shamak was like, Kaizad? Ah, right. So then this guy hugs Shamak. Shamak doesn't do much. And then after a little bit, let's keep in touch. Come on, huh? We must keep in touch. Give me your number. Kaizad, can I be frank? I have too many friends. I really have too many friends. It's just not a good idea at this point. And that's it. It ended.
But that's because he's a celebrity, right?
No, it was the right thing to do.
Say, I went to school with him. No. And that person may not remember because he just happens to be in a profession which makes him famous.
But the fact of the matter is he would not want to stay in touch with too many people. So he's being honest and straightforward. I think it's a lovely thing.
I think he's being a dick. I really do. I mean, like, that's just a terrible thing to do to somebody, right? Somebody's coming up to you, saying hi.
You can't force friendship, Amit. That's also wrong.
Friendship, but telling somebody that, hey, I don't want to be in touch with you going
forward. But did he say that? He said in so many words, I don't want to be in touch with you.
I have too many friends.
No, that's a douchey
thing to do.
I agree with you.
That's a douchey thing to do, right?
I have too many friends.
I
applauded him.
Great.
He became my hero for 3 days. And I've been using this line forever. Now I have none, so I can't use it. But, people pass me by, I have too many friends. I just say it for no reason.
I mean, like, there's a nicer way to do this, right? I mean, like, you just... Okay, fine. Let's stay in touch and then don't be in touch.
I mean, just be polite.
Here's my quick theory on the question, which is to segue back there, which is that there are two issues here. One, as you get older, your judgmentalism is more. So just with women and relationships also, you tend to, the chances of a guy getting married in his 50s becomes less and less because he's now so judgmental. Amit isn't married, and the chances in the next 10 years are less and less. At 30, you'd have had a better chance, you'd have compromised more. Same thing with male friends or friends in general, is that, you're not going to go out of your way. So you have matlabi friendships based on need, which is fine. Like we work together or, we do whatever together and etc. But I think to cultivate the friendship as you get older becomes a little bit more of a headache because you're cynical about a lot of things.
So here's the thing, right? One is you make friends in school. You don't have a choice. They're your classmates.
Geographical friends.
That's your sample size. You have to choose from within that. Same as with
all
family,
right?
And work and stuff like that. And then you see them 10 years later, and we've been talking about WhatsApp through this conversation.
Don't use that word. We look old.
And then you see them how they turned out to be in their 40s. I'm like, what are you saying?
Why would you have that picture?
And you're still 4 years old.
Really?
I mean, grow up. So I think now we have a choice of making friends outside of that circuit. It may be easier. You can make new friends, I think.
I like animals. I like animals. I'm getting used to plants.
Do they like you? That's more important.
Yeah, they do actually. I have a better vibe with them.
Yeah, because they don't say anything. You can talk to them.
Yes, I'm just off human.
They just listen to you, Cyrus. They listen to you.
But I think, to answer to her question, I think it really, I think the definition of friendship changes as you get older.
Yeah.
It used to be that, you do everything together. You want to hang out together. You want to do,
the suffocating friendships of
now,
childhood.
God wouldn't let us breathe. But I feel like now I hang out with
person. We watch movies 10 people
in school and college. You can't help but be group persons, because you land up doing things in gangs. You might think about it. What am I doing here? I used to think about that all the time. What am I doing here? And they would start playing some stock market or something together and betting and all that. I'd be like, what the hell am I doing here?
I always had multiple different gangs, right? Because I was never I never really prescribed to the whole this is my gang kind of thing.
Right.
So I was a part of a bunch of different ones, but just in a very kind of shallow way, right? I mean, I do certain things with certain people, kind of this. And I think that's kind of.
Did you rob old ladies? No, those are the gangs.
Those are different kinds
Detroit.
of gangs.
Sorry.
Those are different.
He grew up in Detroit. Sorry, I wasn't quite sure about that. Yeah. No, but what are the gangs that run the country now? You with them?
Are we really going there?
Yeah,
no, we're not. Gangs of New York, my favorite film.
Yes.
Let's stay with that. Gangs of Wasseypur. Which one do you prefer?
Gangs of Wasseypur.
Oh, the Gangs of New York?
I think it's one of my favorite films.
Gangs of Wasseypur, nothing happens.
Killer.
I got migrated to New York while the film's going on. It was so bloody slow. Kashyap fan, obviously.
I love that film. I don't know if you're a fan of a particular filmmaker.
I'm so touchy about this, yaar.
No, yaar.
I only like one film.
Yeah, then I started getting trolled, for these things.
That's fair.
You're a fan, you're part of this group, You work
for Kashyap. Is your middle name fandom?
Yeah.
Are you a Me Too candidate in some way? Hey, what happened to Vikas Bell?
What about him?
Where is he now? Nobody talks about him.
No idea.
I think everyone's been rehabilitated. I mean, everyone's back in business. Everyone. That Love Ranjan, the movie we're talking about, he just produced a film. It just came out last Friday.
So what is Vikas doing?
He's making that film with Hrithik Roshan.
He's completing the film?
He's completing
Hrithik said he'll walk out of? Or not have him on it?
So I don't know whether he's officially in the credits or not.
So what, did they take out his name but he's still shooting the film?
I would imagine so. It's possible.
Oh, so instead of untitled film, we have an untitled filmmaker now. Excellent, I like it. Things have changed.
Yeah.
We talk about no friends. I got lots of work, but no friends. I can't attend party. Girls present. Amit, next question.
This one is from Rahul Sinha.
Last one. Does Vikas bail get bail? Stop it. What's the opposite of Mayank? My aunt. Get it?
It can't be aunt. No, it's aunt. It's not uncle.
My aunt.
No.
Oh, how do you shorten aunt?
No.
You want to go where Larry
figure it
David
out.
went?
You figure it out.
Larry David went with a typo in that Curb Your Enthusiasm. Instead of AUNT, there's a typo in the
really?
obituary. And the whole, it's a superb episode.
Achha, I haven't seen this one.
CUNT instead of AUNT happens, and then you can just take it from there. And the obituary is published. To my beloved.
It's one of my favorite shows.
Oh, I love
that show.
Larry David and Seinfeld. Oh. Sir, next.
All right.
There's a movie question.
There is this is a movie question.
Yeah.
From Raul Sinha. Hey, hope you're doing well and never run out of things to rant about. You mentioned that you tend to hate popular things, Game of Thrones, for example. Is there anything, movie, TV series, that you feel gets unnecessary hate from people?
No, but I have a sickness. I just don't like things people like. I don't know why. The moment people say Secret Games, I couldn't see it. My wife said, I like Secret Games. Kunal, I like Secret Games. People in the gym, Secret Game. That's it.
But did you see it and decide for yourself?
I
or
couldn't
you just
see it because I get into this. There's a mental issue. Everybody likes it, and then I'm like, oh God, if they all like it.
You don't feel special then.
I don't feel special.
You should be able to say something that nobody's heard of, and then, oh wow, I'm going to catch that show.
That's
I
true.
get you.
That's
What's
right.
Succession? Not to people see.
I've heard about it.
I love that show.
I'm watching Roman Empire right now. Nobody bothers me.
Exactly.
Nobody's saying I love Roman Empire. Did you see the way Cassius was killed? No. Nobody's bothered.
So you're basically watching something so it makes you feel cool.
Yeah. It's all about me. Heard that in government? Let's get back to our ringtone. Hello, this is BJP.
But to Raul's question, anything you can think of that you have
Which Raul?
enjoyed? This is Raul.
Oh, shit.
The guy
That was
asking us the
fast,
question.
man.
Yes. The guy who's asking us the question.
Raul's question is, did we win? No.
Is there anything that you like that you think gets unnecessarily hated on?
Animals? All the
No, you
time.
mean shows.
Movies, TV
Or
shows.
movies.
Oh, movies, TV shows?
Books.
That's a tough question. Mayank, can you answer that?
No, I mean unnecessarily hated on.
Yeah.
That you like,
I think like
but is disliked.
Avengers, for instance, just because it's so popular,
You guess
people
it,
don't give it.
No, but that's just idiots being trolls. Because the fact of the matter is, everybody went and saw the film. The film
They
was
did.
full of success.
They did
Across
but
countries.
There are too many people like you who don't want to say it. That it's a freaking masterpiece. I think it's a freaking
Is
masterpiece.
it really?
Yeah.
My daughter came and told me who
As
died
a
at the
visual
end.
experience,
My daughter told me who
spectacle.
died in the film. Now I can't watch it.
No, but you really want to watch the movie for the
really
story?
matter?
Like,
It matters.
just
What
read
do
it
you
on
mean it doesn't
Wikipedia.
matter?
Just read the story on Wikipedia.
The guy's got the tightest underwear in the business. You kill him off in the middle of the film.
How does
It's
that
not fair.
matter, man?
Oh, he's gone through all that pain of sucking in his stomach and everything. It's not easy being a superhero. Come on, for God's sake. Shaktiman, the greatest of all time.
Yes.
They still have the suits.
Answer the question.
Yeah. Hate something that I like.
That everyone.
That
that
other
everyone
people hate
hates.
that you like.
Boom, 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 boom. Test cricket to some extent.
No, there you
Not
go.
very
That's a good
popular.
answer.
Not very
That's a
popular.
good answer.
I love. And I love talking. There's this girl who works out with us, and her husband, she claims, likes cricket.
Okay.
So I always, just to emasculate him and make myself feel better in a petty way, I always ask her ridiculous questions to ask him because I know he'll not be able to answer them at all. I mean, really stupid questions.
But you don't think, like, imagine watching a
like
sport
Cameron
where
Bancroft,
there
will
won't be a
he
winner?
make the Ashes tour? Sorry. Yeah, I'm just
Go
giving
for
my
it.
example.
No, I'm just saying, like I love tennis, for instance, because I know that someone's served, so somebody will win a point.
Yeah.
Like 5 days, you sit through 5 days where you don't even know that somebody will win this game.
But you have Kyrgios to watch as well, who's always so much fun. With his comments and being thrown out of tournaments. So yeah, I like tennis as well, by the way.
Right. No, I'm just saying, like, do you think there's just not value for money in terms of the 5 days that you spend
No, it's part of the
on something where...
it's part of the snob appeal also, where you know that they don't really like the game like you like the game, or interested in the game like you're interested in the game.
Right.
So you feel better about yourself by putting them
you mean,
down.
the finer points and that
So
shot.
there's
and
the
stuff
Brahmin
like that.
complex. You
Sure.
try to put people down just for the sake of it to make yourself feel better.
Right.
But also that you actually do know it, so that
Right.
it's not like a fake thing, but it's a terrible thing. It just shows how petty and small you are.
I think
but I
also-
like it.
I
really
think part of that game is the fact that there can be no result, right? I mean, like, that is part of the game, right?
What
A
do
draw
they, and
is-
what do they of
snooze
cricket
fest
know that
about
only
it.
cricket knows?
I
CLR James.
don't like cricket.
You're familiar with the line, what do they of cricket know? Only cricket know.
Oh, yeah,
CLR
yeah,
James,
yeah,
famous
yeah,
Caribbean
yeah.
poet, philosopher,
Yeah.
politician.
Okay.
So, cricket is much, or sport, everything is much more than what it
Sure.
is.
So you're seeing it as art form rather than pure
Much
sport.
more than art form,
Yeah.
a revolution.
Got it.
I mean, West Indies' dominance in the 80s is like a political comment. I mean, everything is there.
Sure.
The rise of India, new India is reflected in cricket.
Yeah.
Everything is there for me. Zimbabwe disappearing.
You've seen
with
Fire in
Mugabe.
Babylon. I'm sure you've seen that.
Oh, I
What a
cried.
lovely
I
film.
cried, Baba.
What a lovely
I
film.
cried like a
Yeah.
child.
Yeah.
And I can't
It's
even
a
spell
documentary commentary
Babylon.
on the rise of West Indies cricket.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
On the home famous Tony Gregg comments, etc. We're putting people to sleep, by the way, with the things I like. That's good. Anybody left there? Hello, Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Jet Airways, last and final request. Give in your miles. Get to watch Andheri East.
Is that working?
From
No,
my
any
balcony.
miles on Jet Airways?
You still get miles. I got
You
a
still
nice
get-
letter from them saying that, hey, we are Etihad owned and our
Owned,
miles
yeah.
are not.
But have you tried it?
Well, right
Does it
now you're
work?
not going to get bang for your bucks. You just wait.
No, because I tried booking something and it
So
never
I
happened.
wasn't able to upgrade with Jet, and I also wasn't able to transfer from one Etihad to Jet, so I don't know,
Right.
or rather from Jet
Give
to
me a
Etihad.
week or two. I'm sorting all this out.
Yeah.
Just let the government come to power. At the time of recording, we still don't know what's going on. I will sort this out. I will get back to you.
It'll get figured in some way, shape, or form, right? So I'm sure that
You'll get miles for the moon.
you can still get the miles, right? The websites are still active.
No, so I
you-
tried. It didn't work.
No, you can
So
still get the miles.
that's the thing.
I got miles when I did. So one of the things that is kind of interesting with Jet is you can book hotels through the website. So I booked hotels and I
you've
got
done
the
that.
miles for that. And that
You can
recently.
buy shampoos, washing machines, things like that as well. So maybe you should just do that. He's got long hair. Go for shampoos and conditioners, and plenty of them.
What, only long hair people use shampoo?
Well,
You
it's
don't?
really stupid when
Cyrus,
I'm standing in a line for a haircut, and this guy with no hair is sitting there taking time, and look, and they show the mirror to the. Sorry, Amit, I know you don't have much. It's so sarcastic when he picks up the mirror and shows. It's only in India I think they do that at the back of the head, where the Indian male is really proud of hair he can't see. Yeah, bahut acha. Never get that bit. We're done, by the way, man. Can we stop this?
Yeah, I
please.
guess.
Okay, folks, great news for me, not so much for you. We're going thrice a week. We're not repeating shows. We're going on thrice a week, 2 regular shows and a new one, the birth of a new one called Lanso, Left Arm Not So Orthodox. It's talking cricket. 2 great minds talking cricket. One who has never played the game and the other, well, relatively less inexperienced. The one and only, what's my name? Cyrus Broacha. Lanso. New episodes every Wednesday. Okay, catch us on any of the podcasting apps, please. We beg you, we need you. Send us your questions on Twitter, on Cyrus Says In. Or you can email us, even if you're not female, on whatcyrussays@gmail.com.
And that's what Cyrus says.
Did you know that Parsis in Mumbai, instead of being left at the Tower of Silence after they die, are now cremated? And why? Because a cow fell sick in the early 1990s. Did you know that the smog in Delhi is caused by something that farmers in Punjab do and that there's no way to stop them? Did you know that there wasn't one gas tragedy in Bhopal, but 3? One of them was seen, but 2 were unseen. Did you know that many well-intentioned government policies hurt the people they're supposed to help? Why was demonetization a bad idea? How should GST have been implemented? Why are all our politicians so corrupt when not all of them are bad people? I'm Amit Verma, and in my weekly podcast, The Seen and the Unseen, I take a shot at answering all these questions and many more. I aim to go beyond the seen and show you the unseen effects of public policy and private action. I speak to experts on economics, political philosophy, cognitive neuroscience, and constitutional law so that their insights can blow not only my mind, but also yours. The Seen and the Unseen releases every Monday. So do check out the archives and follow the show at seenunseen.in. You can also subscribe to The Seen and the Unseen on whatever podcast app you happen to prefer.
Do you wish you were smarter? Well, so do we. But the next best thing?
We could make you sound smarter.
And to help you with this endeavor, we are Simplified, a podcast that attempts to break down the complex world around you with a little knowledge, a lot of poor jokes, and a ton of random trivia.
Episodes out every Monday.
On the IVM podcast app or wherever you get your podcasts.
See ya!